The deer gun season in North Dakota opens Friday, November 7th at noon Central Time. Today we're visiting with District Game Warden Gage Munch to go over some of the more common violations during the deer season. I'm Mike Anderson with the North Dakota Game and Fish Department.
So deer hunting in North Dakota, it's a family tradition. It's been a lot of people have partaken in it all the way from the time they were young, growing up. It's a very popular activity. When it comes to hunting, I would say it's one of the things that North Dakota residents look forward to. We have violations we seem to encounter every year. People not wearing orange while out hunting is one of them. A lot of this comes back to safety deals. Another one is people with loaded firearms and motor vehicles, driving around or whatever, and they forget or intentionally still have it around in their chamber. That's something we're very we don't want, because it turns bad very quickly, where you end up somebody accidentally bumping around, somebody gets shot, goes through a floorboard, something like that. We don't want anyone with rifle cartridges in the chamber of a firearm or shotgun for that matter. Another one is people not having their tags with them in the field, or not tagging animals immediately upon harvest or validating their tags. That's something that we encounter quite often, is people they get excited, they get caught up in the heat of the moment, and they forget to pull out their tag, or at that point then they're looking for where their tag is, and that needs to be the first thing that's coming out and getting done. To be deer gun hunting, you need 400 square inches of blaze orange above the waist, and you also need an orange head covering. And what constitutes as blaze orange would be fluorescent orange that is solid. It can't be broke up with camo or barring or anything like that. We want people to be wearing that blaze orange through the entire process. The whole thing, it's a safety matter. You're out in the field. We don't want you mistaken for an animal. We don't want any accidents happening there. So it's important you get warm, you shed layers, take a jacket off, but then throw that blaze orange covering back over the top. So the first thing you need to do after harvesting an animal and you walk up on it, get your tag out, get it validated. If it's an antlered animal, affix that tag around the base of the antler. If it's antlerless, put a slit in the ear and then attach that tag to itself. The big thing is that immediately you get it validated, and it's in a manner that tag cannot be easily removed. So the carcass tag that comes with a deer tag, that sticks with you. You have to have it in your possession during transport with any of the edible meat, and then that sight tag is attached to the ear or antlers of the animal. To legally transport a deer, it has to be the hunter, and the tag holder has to be the one that accompanies that deer through the process of transporting it. The only exception would be if you contact a warden or there's some other local law enforcement that have transportation permits, and all three parties need to be there, as far as the transporter, the hunter, and the deer has to be present. And then you can get a tag written out for, let's say it's another family member that's taking the animal, something like that, to be able to transport that deer if you gotta leave or go separate for some reason. So something we encounter fairly frequently is somebody harvests a deer, shoots a deer where they're able to be hunting legally, and ends up on a neighbor's property, ends up running into posted property. You do have the legal authority to retrieve that deer as long as it's downed. You cannot continue to pursue that deer. You have to do it unarmed. You have to leave any firearm or bow at the property line, and then you can retrieve that deer on foot, and then it has to be immediately removed back towards the property that you have the legal right to be hunting on. Best course of action I always recommend to people, just to alleviate any conflict, would be contact the landowner, explain the situation, and in rare instances, sometimes there's issues, maybe it's people not getting along, they don't want somebody screwing up their hunt, and they want to tell you no, then contact a local warden and we'll try to work through the situation with the hunter and the landowner. New for 2025, the state legislature changed some off-trail regulations, and for any information involving that, the ins and outs, you can refer to our website. You can find everything involving that online. It's important to keep in mind that hunters are not allowed to chase, pursue, harass any wildlife with a motor vehicle. So if you see a violation, best thing you can do, you don't want to confront the violator. Try to document as much as you can. Get descriptions of how many people, vehicles, if possible, from keeping yourself safe. Get a license plate. That's a huge help towards being able to track people down. But document what you can and then contact our Report All Poachers hotline at 701-328-9921. So the posting laws in North Dakota, something to be aware of that's kind of unique to the state. Not only can stuff be physically posted in the traditional manner, but it can also be electronically posted. Some of the best references to be able to find that are going to be apps as like Onyx, our Game and Fish app has links to it, or just our online mapping guides and plots guides show electronic posting. So you need to make sure not only are you checking for physical posting signs, but you're also checking for make sure properties are not electronically posted as well. As far as its responsibilities as sportsmen, that we're making sure that we're doing stuff ethically, we're paying attention to the image that we're portraying for other hunters, so carcasses you're disposing of properly, or if you come across gates, not only is it an ethical thing, but it's also a state law that if you open a gate, you have to close it behind you, and vice versa. So anything with some areas of the states recently, we've had a lot of rain. Make sure you're not tearing up roads, you're not tearing up approaches. Be aware of where you're parking vehicles, where you park to walk in. We don't want to be blocking off roads, be blocking off access points to that are get in the way of farmers during harvest or any other sportsmen in the area. We get a lot of issues throughout the fall where people just purely aren't being respectful of their hunters. We want to try to alleviate that and avoid that as much as possible. Be aware, not only is it a safety thing, but try to give people space, be aware of other hunters in the area, and just give respect. We want everyone's hunt to be successful. We want everyone's hunt to be enjoyable. We don't want anything that could be taken away from the whole experience. It's a good idea before the deer gun season rolls around to pick up a copy or go online and make sure you brush up on the state's regulations. Any new changes, just any previous rules. A lot of the stuff that we come across, a lot of it just comes back to people not understanding what the regulations are properly. And a lot of that can be stopped to keep yourself out of trouble, make sure everything's done properly just by taking a little bit of time ahead of season and brushing up on some things. At the end of the day, the most important thing with the deer gun season, we want people to have a safe, successful season, get out, have fun, and make it home safe at the end of the day.